Hello and welcome back. Today we are reading a fan fiction, and I am here with TehEpicTubz, aka Adam. Say hello, Adam.
Hello.
This is Adam. Well,
Me.
this is Adam. Yeah. Well, actually, that's Adam's tip right there that I'm pointing at. I can't go any higher, otherwise I just disappear. Okay, so basically, this guy on the internet has made a make-it-yourself fan fiction thing, and we have added some cool words to make it ours. Okay.
Cool words.
Yes, cool, like the kids. Right, okay, so let's start. The title is True Love by Fate. Okay, it was a dark and stormy night. An unnatural haze lingered over Mordor. In his bed, Adam shivered. For a summer night, the air was cold and the sky was black. It was almost as if something evil lurked out there in the shadows. Ooh. Okay. Adam rolled over, clutching his pillow, and tried to fall back asleep. But a worry nagged in the back of his mind. Something was not right. Now, no matter how hard he tried, some ghostly force prevented him from sleeping. It was making him uneasy. With a sigh, he rolled out of bed, pulled on his pink jockstrap, and poured himself a cup of water from the pitcher on his nightstand. Quietly, he left his room. This is a break in the paragraph. Next one's coming on. The halls were silent as he walked in the dark. He did not know where he was going or why, but his body seemed to move of its own accord. He was being drawn by an unseen power. Past his father's bedroom, past the dining hall, past the cupboard, and out onto the terrace. With the moon hidden behind thick clouds, it was nearly impossible to see the inky black night, but something lying on the path to Adam's right made him gasp in shock. A body. Now here is our customized exclamation. Christ in my ass! Adam shouted. He leapt over the terrace railing and onto the ground below, running towards the fallen form as fast as he could. Tree branches scratched at his skin and pulled at his clothes, but he paid them no mind. Heart pounding, he fell onto his knees on the pathway and placed a gentle hand on the figure's penis.
Oh my god.
Now that he was closer, he could see that this was a young hobbit of the Shire, a mister by the looks of him,
Oh my god.
who appeared to be no more than 2 years old.
God.
That's why I said pick a big number! But he was in dire need of help. His clothes were torn and bloody and his hair was matted with shit. He needed the attention of a healer immediately. Without a second thought, Adam picked up the wounded mister and, cradling him in his arms, carried him to inside to seek the help that he was so desperately needed. His situation... For fuck's sake. His situation is severe, Gandalf said in a worried voice. Whether or not he will live until... Gandalf is meant to be Adam's dad, apparently. Whether or not he will live until morning is beyond my sight. My team of healers will do the best they can, but... His voice trailed off. Adam could sense his fear. There was a good chance the young hobbit might die. Is there anything I can do to help? He asked. Gandalf sadly shook his head. Nothing, the healers are already trying. But it might help if you just sat with him. He will need to see a friendly face when he wakes up from this ordeal, and you are the closest thing he has right now. I understand, said Adam, and I will stay with him for as long as it takes. I will not let him... With that, Adam turned and hurried to the room where the wounded mister was being housed. He was surrounded by healers, all of whom wore the same concerned expression. They had washed his body and dressed his wounds with healing salve, but the hobbit showed no signs of improvement. His breathing was shallow, his pulse was weak. One of the healers turned to Adam with a defeat sigh. It will be an uphill battle, she said. We have done all we can at this time. Now, we can only wait and see if he wakes. Adam nodded resolutely. I will stay with him throughout the night and keep watch as he sleeps. Bit weird. One by one, the healers left the bedside, the last one closing the door behind her. In the flickering candlelight, Adam dipped a square of cloth in the warm bowl of water left by the healers and gently used it to stroke the injured hobbit's nipple. Then, taking up the mister's limp hand, I think he fucked up a bit on the title. He settled into his bedside chair and prepared to wait through the remainder of the long cold night. Asterisk is to signify chapter change. Where am I? Adam jerked awake with a start when he heard the words being spoken. He stared down at his parchment, and an immense weird wave of relief coursing through his body. I have had vodka before I've done this, so I'm sorry for the story. The Hobbit was alive, and from the looks of things, he was on his way to making a full recovery. Amazing! You were in Mordor, Adam told him. I found you last night, lying unconscious and nearly dead on a path coming from the forest. I carried you inside, and my father's healers tended to your wounds. Please, tell me your name and how you came to be here. My name is Gingy, said the Hobbit. I come from the Shire. I was on an errand from my father to deliver an important message to Kieran Dunn in Mars. But last night, all I remember is I was riding through the forest when suddenly I was attacked by a group of placentas. This is the best bit. At least one surrounded me. I
wonder where number one was going to come in.
I tried to escape, but there were so many, and I only had my dildo crossbow for protection. And that is the last thing I recall. I do not know how I came to be here or why I am not dead. Adam smiled at him. The stars must have... Wait, where's it gone? Where have I gone? The stars must have shined favourably on you. To live through such an ordeal, that is more than mere luck. It was more than luck too. That Gingy had wound up in Mordor, and Adam had found him. Now the two were together, it was like fate had lent a hand. Gingy was meant to be here, and Adam was meant to have found him. Why, Adam did not know. But it felt so certain. It also did not hurt that Gingy was one of the most beautiful individuals Adam had ever seen. Oh, you! His sleek ultraviolet hair contrasted with his large dark X-ray eyes set in his lovely face. And his sculpted body, half hidden by the bed linens, was a further attraction. Adam could hardly suppress his desire to run his hands over that soft hair and perfect body.
Oh my god.
But he kept his feelings under control. Gingy had just barely survived a nearly fatal encounter. Now was not the time for romance. Asterisk is... Within 3 days, Gingy had improved enough to leave his bed. Gandalf had given him a set of new clothes, and he was able to wander through the corridors and gardens by himself. But there was one thing that... The one thing that troubled him was Adam's absence. Since the morning he had forced a walk in Mordor, he had not seen Adam at all. It was as if his rescuer had simply disappeared. He had asked Gandalf where his son could be, but Gandalf had no answer. Adam was gone without a trace. Gingy desired to speak with Adam again and properly thank him for saving his life, but he also wanted to see that handsome Ent once more. He could not explain it, but he felt a deep connection to Adam, either forged by life-saving bond or some other power. He knew that Adam was a special someone. He's someone he had to see again. It wasn't until the 6th day that after Gingy recovered that Adam returned to Mordor. He didn't walk, obviously. He rode up to the path where Gingy had been found, dragging a net filled with the heads of placentas behind him.
Oh my god.
All one of them.
I'm a very naughty Ent.
Here are your placentas, he called to Gingy. I found them hiding out in a cave not far from here. Gingy stared in surprise, eyes going wide. You killed them all by yourself? I cannot let such dangerous creatures roam free in our lands, Adam replied. And I did it all for you. They nearly killed you. I do not want anything like that to happen. Oh, fuck. That to happen again. Gingy could feel his heart pounding as Adam spoke. Adam killed those placentas for him. Before he could stop himself, he leapt at Adam and threw his arms around his neck, kissing the brave Ent on the finger. Adam laughed in surprise but did not pull away. What was that for? Just the thank you, Gingy said. He smiled, but when he saw the serious look in Adam's eyes, the smile faded away. What is wrong? He asked, worried. Gingy, I have to confess something to you. The first morning you were here, I thought you were so beautiful. Oh, you. I wanted to kiss you, but then I did not know how you would react. Gingy gasped in shock. Kiss? Me? I told myself I must not, because of the terrible ordeal you just suffered. It was not the right time, but these past few days, while I was gone, I could only think of you the entire time. And now, Adam, Gingy sighed in his name, apparently. Yeah, I sighed your name. Hold on, where are we going with this? I thought about you two all the time while you were gone. I was worried I'd never see you again. Adam lifted to gently stroke Gingy on the cheek. I am sorry I ran off like that. I should have said something to you. This is so shit. Taking a deep breath, Gingy said, Adam, there is something I've been considering over the past several days. I think we were meant to find each other. What happened to me, it was not accident of fate. Those placentas were planted. I was meant to come here. You were meant to rescue me. A bright smile broke across Adam's face as soon as Gingy had spoken. You know what? I might have been thinking the same thing. That night when I found you, I was worried I would be unable to think. Some strange power led me out onto the terrace, and that was when I saw you. Gingy took Adam's hand. So you think we were meant to be together? I have no doubt of it. Slowly, Adam leaned in and kissed Gingy softly in the lips. I love you, he whispered. I love you too, Gingy whispered in return. The end!
Right. Afterwards. I've now got this image of it in my head of a very tall tree kissing a very, very, very young hobbit.
2 years old, in fact.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Are we weird for this?
I think I'm scarred for life.
Bye!